Hello. And just like that, we are live again 2 days in a row. Y'all knew something must be going on. Hello, my name is Sandra, and welcome to my channel From Lack to Legacy. On this channel, where all things money, investing, mindset, travel, lifestyle, honey, we're doing it. If this is your first time here, welcome, 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 welcome. Nope, I did not set it up, schedule this live, anything. I almost didn't even do this live because, of course, y'all know I'm in Malaysia and I'm sleepy. But I had to get back on here to follow up with our live that we did yesterday because we talked about Nike. We were trading Nike. Let me see if I can pull this in. Anyway, I'll pull it in just a second. But we talked about Nike. Hey, sister, what's going on? Mary Love has entered the chat. And there's three other folks. There's two people watching. If you're watching, drop a comment, like, subscribe, and share the channel. Honey, I just came back on because I had to come back and follow up with the live we did yesterday. We looked at a trade that we took in our study session. We took a Nike trade. And you all know me. Maryland has trained me well. I no longer trade with FOMO. So we took our profit on that trade yesterday, laying in bed and saw the notification. Yeah. Maryland, that was me. I was laying in bed, setting the live stream up. I was like, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? But I couldn't help it, y'all. Did y'all see Nike jump up $10? I was like, well, I brought three. We were talking about this in class, so let me slow down. In our study session, I had noticed the Nike chart was setting up a pattern. So we looked at it in our paper money account, and we placed the trade. We bought three contracts, and I think Nike jumped up about $1, $2, or whatever it was. We made $175 on the trade, and so I sold all of our contracts and we took the $175. Hey, Venus, I don't know where you are now. I don't even know if you're still here. But if you are still here, I'm available. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I can say. You see how hectic my life is. But so we closed out the trade, y'all. We closed it out at like $62. And Nike played around yesterday. It didn't get above $62.50. Did y'all see Nike jump up to $72, $10? It jumped up. I'll pull in the chart. Let me pull it in so you can see it. Look at Nike. It says 71.57 right now. Can you all see that? An entire $10. You could see what it did overnight in the gray area, and then it popped up that long green candle. Let me see. I'm going to go over to the chart so you can see my cursor. You can see earnings came in. Yep. Let me see. Was that earnings? I'm trying to hover over that thing. Yep. Earnings came in. The estimate was actually for 10 cent. And it was actually 14 cents. So on the good news from earnings, we get this little pop up overnight. Then it kind of consolidates overnight, and then it opens up this morning. Everybody and their mama want Nike. 10 more bucks. So God only knows what that would have been. I'm gonna get back over here. God only knows what that would have been had we stayed in that trade. So what I'm gonna do is, because I can't run it back right now in the oh my gosh, it's been so long. When you're in your live account on Thinkorswim, you can do like a playback. I didn't even forgot what it was. Y'all know it's late. Anyway, I'm in KL for the health assessment. I would love to meet up with you. Sister, I'm available. You got my information. Just hit me up. I wasn't sure when you were going to be here and how long, but I'm glad you are here. So, yes. So what I'll do is, it's called back testing. I'll go into my live account. It takes a few days though for us to be able to set up back testing so that we can project what would have happened had we not sold all of our contracts. And so this also came up. Hey, big up yourself. Hey, sister. Hey. Hey, Winsome. Y'all better get over there to Winsome's channel. I'm trying to tell y'all something. Winsome is teaching you how to visualize and materialize and actualize and self-actualize all your potential in life. Y'all, you better get over there. I just know some fantastic women. So please, please check my sister's channel out. Do yourself a favor. I'm trying to help. I'm trying to spread the good news. So I'm going to go. Why can't I think of the name of this feature? Oh gosh, don't get old. See, it don't pay to get old. But at any rate, um, in a couple of days, I'll be able to replay this trade and we'll see what happens. So I'm up because I'm gonna be watching Nike to see if it bounces off of, I want to say that's our 9-day moving average. You can see it's creating, you see that big long green candle that came in. Lots of buyers rushed in this morning on good news from earnings. And then you can see once it popped up, I'm on the 15-minute chart. Then you can see this kind of sell off. That's pretty typical. I don't usually trade first thing in the morning. They call that the rookie hour. So I don't fool around with it. Hey, Brenda. Hey, welcome to the stream. I don't usually fool with it first thing in the morning, but this would have been a great day to have held that contract overnight. So let me tell y'all what happened. We bought 3 contracts. And when I'm trading, I usually buy 3 contracts. Why would I buy 3? Because generally you can sell to, like if you want to take profit, instead of me selling all 3 of them like I sold, I could have sold 2 of the contracts and left one in place as a runner. That's what they call it. And, sell 2, take profit, and leave a runner. And that runner would have served the purpose for just what happened, like at earnings overnight. But I'm going to tell you, trading earnings is risky. And I don't like to, 2 things. I don't like to trade earnings. I'd rather wait and shake it out because it could go either way. I didn't know what their earnings outcome was going to be. And so fortunately, in this case, we saw a little pop up, but it could work the other way. Nike ain't out the woods yet. And I don't like to hold contracts overnight if I don't have to. And that was a 2-day contract. We had already paid for 2 days. We had already invested the money. So another option, instead of selling all 3, I could have only sold 2 and left one as a runner. And that one contract would have picked up that big, jump up overnight. And somebody asked me in study session, we started to buy one. I said, no, let me practice the way I would normally trade. So the way I normally trade is I would buy 3 contracts, and for that very reason, so that you don't have that, remorse that, oh, you missed the last part of the move. So that's that. So I came on one to share that, but I also came on to share this new series I'm going to be doing. And it's called What Would You Do with $1,000? And each day on my YouTube community, well, it used to be called the community tab. I don't know what it's called now. I think it's just called post. I'm going to be posting a question. And so I posted the question today. Let me see if I can get over here and see what it is. So every day, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post a question every day asking you. It's really a poll of what would you do with $1,000. And so today's post in poll is, would you pay down debt or would you invest? So I'm asking you all, everybody that's in here, if somebody just walked up, and we call this like bonus money or found money. Let's just say, I don't know, how could you suddenly get $1,000? Maybe your beau came by and he's feeling generous and gave you $1,000. It can happen. Maybe you hit the lottery. I don't know. Maybe you went to the casino. I do not know. Maybe a big client came in and paid cash up front, but suddenly you got $1,000 in your hands. What would you do with it? Would you pay down debt or would you invest it? Invest. And I'm going to say this. I think your decision says a lot about where your money mindset might be, and it also brings up a lot of questions for me. So if you say that you would invest, my next question to anybody would be, of course, what are you going to invest in, and why would you choose to invest over paying down debt? If you answer me and say, well, I don't have no debt to pay down, then I'm all for it. But my next question would be, did y'all subscribe? Please subscribe, like, share, and do all the other things. It's 5 of us in here. It's just us chickens over here chatting. So if you are here, say something. Say hey. Say hey down in the chat. Venus, I would say, okay, so if you invested, of course, you could make that $1,000. It could potentially make more money. It could also lose money too, because there are no guarantees with investing. I would want to know, okay, the best case scenario would be that you don't have any debt. Time in the market. Okay. My next question to anybody, and particularly a young person, because most of us here, we're older, we all kind of know how money works. But I would ask, do you have a 3 to 6 months savings cushion just in case something happens? Do you have 3 to 6 months of savings in a high yield savings account? Do you, or maybe you have it in your fast cash portion of your brokerage account where it's earning interest? Because yeah, I know we grown. So grown folk, it's a whole different ball game. But if you are younger, if you are a new investor, it might be very tempting to take that found money and invest it in the market, because it's all the rage. Wall Street Trapper, everybody talking about invest, 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 and this is a good thing. But I would tell a young person, especially if you have bills, you got a mortgage, you got kids, you got a car note. I would say even before you invest, even before you pay down all of your debt with that, I would say make sure that you have a 3 to 6 months emergency fund built up. Because the last thing you want to do, if you don't have that cushion, let's say, something happened with the car, the refrigerator goes out, life be life. And I know I was that young mom. I was that single mom teacher. I had to be very conscientious with my money. And my kids know, don't break a doorknob up in this joint. That's how tight our budget was. Don't break a doorknob, because that money has to come from somewhere. But having a 3 to 6 month savings cushion in a high yield savings account, or someplace where it's earning certainly more interest than a savings account, might for some be the better move. Now, if you already have 3 to 6 months in a high yield savings account, and you have paid down all of your debt, by all means, go ahead and invest that money. We ain't talking to you. But for somebody who might still be in the workforce, might still, one unexpected expense could topple everything for you. They say that most Americans, I want to say more than 50%, I'm even afraid to say the real number, don't even have $1,000 saved for an emergency. And so I would say make sure that you have that in place personally before you go ahead and do your investment. But y'all, Venus don't count, because most of my crowd, ain't nobody checking for us. I ain't got no kids. My kids is grown. I don't even own a house no more. I don't even own a car no more. I ain't got to worry about all that stuff. But if this were me 20 years ago, I would say to my younger self, please make sure that you have that, because the last thing you want to do is have to dip into your investment, or have to dip into your 401k, or have to take on some high interest debt in order to handle an emergency. So we're reading this book. Y'all know our learning community reads financial books. And the book that we're currently reading is Get Good with Money by Tiffany Aliche. And she talks about this hierarchy of where your money should be going. So before you start investing for wealth building in particular, you would want to make sure that you have a budget of some sort. And by budget, everybody falls somewhere on the spectrum. You don't have to have a full on penny for penny budget. There's zero based budgeting. There are all kinds of budget models that you could use. Here's the one I like. my budget is not like a pen and paper written down, every penny is accounted for budget, although every penny is accounted for. At this stage in my life, I pay myself first. I don't care about nobody. I get paid first right off the bat. Hey, to Kende Travels. Hey, girl, we see you traveling all over the world, out there in Paris, traveling in Europe. Hey, Pamela. Hey, welcome to the stream. Hey, Sexy L. I think I greeted everybody. I hope I did. I think so. I got Winsome, Mara Love, of course, because none of this happens without Mara Love, y'all, our moderator extraordinaire. I'm just happy to be hanging out again with y'all. I think this might be my sweet spot. I might be able to do this because I'm not quite sleepy at 10. It's just 10:45 here my time. I'm usually good to about midnight. I'm not sharp enough to be trading with no cash money, but I'm certainly sharp enough to be playing around with paper money. And I'm certainly sharp enough to be sitting up here talking with my girlfriends, with my good Judies. I'm sharp enough for all of that. So, but I wanted to jump on for real really quickly to introduce this new 30-day series. And each day I'm going to pose another question about what would you do with $1,000. And today we're asking and talking about, would you invest the $1,000 or would you pay down debt? And I think it has so much to do with where you are in your life and what your circumstances are. And that's going to be different for everybody. But if we were talking to about a young person who has children, you're still in the workforce, you have a mortgage, you got a car, you got folks depending on you, all of that. You got credit card debt, you got student loan debt, which so many people find themselves. And I hope you all were able to take advantage of the forgiveness programs with your student loans. It might be a better idea than to invest to make sure that you pay down some of that debt. And even before that, I won't even say before that, but maybe simultaneously as you're paying down that debt, that you are also making sure that you have an emergency fund. So Tiffany Alici in her book puts forth this kind of hierarchy. Make sure that you are paying yourself first, by all means, meaning that you are putting aside money. First of all, create a budget. That's where we started with this. And I'll give you, this is my budget. My budget is this way. I pay myself first, right? And then I pay all of my utility bills, the things that are non-negotiable. I have rent, a cell phone, lights, sewer, and my insurance. Y'all, basically that's it. It's a good life. I got about 5 little stinky bills. I honestly here in Malaysia could live realistically. It's a lot more than it was when I was in Thailand. In Thailand, I could run that thing under $1,000. This is probably comfortably somewhere between $1,500 and $1,700 a month. $1,700 a month. I'm not worried about anything. My rent here is $850, anywhere between $850 to $900, depending on the strength of the dollar. Then my cell phone bill's $9 a month. Lights, my electric bill, and I run my air all the time. Like right now, it's blasting. About $40 a month, and that's no holds barred. Water, I don't know. My water bill might be $13. That's on the outside. My sewer bill might be $6. I don't know, what is that? Whatever that is. And then groceries. Hey, photographer. Hey, welcome to the stream. I'm so happy you caught us too. I'm not usually on, but I think I found me a little sweet spot. I don't mind being up as long as I'm not playing with my real money. I think for me, if we're playing with paper money and we just shooting the breeze, chewing the fat, talking to each other, I could do that. But we were talking about this new series that I'm starting. It's a 30-day series, and each day I'll post a question. It's like a poll. So you weigh in, which would you do? Some people, so the first poll question for this starting today, I posted it already. It's on my YouTube page. Get over there, y'all, and weigh in, because I'm curious to see. And down in the comments, tell me your reasoning. Venus said that she would invest first. She said because of the time in the market. Venus is more like me. She is older. She ain't worried about all the things that we worried about when we were in our 20s and our 30s in terms of having all those responsibilities and liabilities. The older you get, of course, you become more financially stable, and people and the things that were depending on you, they kind of fall along the wayside. So that's going to certainly alter how you would handle $1,000 if somebody just happened to drop $1,000 in your lap. If somebody dropped $1,000 in my lap today, child, y'all know exactly where I'm going. I'm running straight to the stock market. There's nothing to discuss. I'm trying to figure out what can we buy. I also posted in our learning community some undervalued king stocks and aristocrat stocks, single stocks that might make good buys. So if you're not in there with us, y'all missing out, honey, because we posting all the good. It's in the Google Classroom, and you get access to that when you become a part of our learning community. But you could do your own research and just, figure out what are some good buys? I personally, y'all know I'm an ETF girl because I ain't got time. I'm set it and forget it. My stuff, I pay myself first in my budget. Then I pay all of my bills that are non-negotiable. I invest for me and my grandchildren. And when I say pay myself first, I pay me and them first because that stuff is automated. I don't even have to touch it. It comes out automatically. So that's how I pay myself first. It comes out regardless. Then I pay everything I owe. And then after that, honey, you can shake and shimmy. You can shake and shimmy under the rest. My investments come out first and foremost before my rent even gets paid, before I pay my landlord. He ain't no more important than me. I pay me first and then pay everything that I owe. So if I were younger, my budget might still look similar to that. But instead of just paying myself first, if you are carrying credit card debt, of course, that's a priority. You want to get rid of debt. The reason you want to get rid of debt is because debt has interest. And you are actually losing money if you're carrying high balances on high interest credit cards. And so even before you get ready to invest, you would want to maybe do those simultaneously. While you're paying down your debt, you are investing for retirement. If you have a 401k, because pensions are almost a thing of the past. And so you still want to pay yourself first, but you also want to be digging yourself out of the hole. For somebody who's younger, for Venus and I, it's a no-brainer. We're investing our money. For somebody who's younger, who might be carrying debt, it might be that you want to pay down your debt simultaneously. So you get $1,000, you might put $500 toward paying down a high interest credit card while making sure that you're funding your emergency fund. So those are some of the things that we talk about. We talk about all that stuff in our learning community. And if you haven't read Tiffany Alice's book, honey, get it. Paying 20% interest to others, yep, is debt. Exactly. And you don't want to carry that. So it wouldn't even make sense, because think about it. You would, if you took that money, if you have high interest debt on credit cards, the interest rate could be anything. It could be upwards 20%, even more. To take that $1,000 and put it in the stock market, because honey, the stock market is not a guarantee. And historically, you can expect to make somewhere between 8 and maybe 12% on an investment annually. And so it just, the math ain't mathing. You want to make sure that you're eliminating high interest credit card debt, even car loans, any of that kind of debt. You want to tend to that first. So if you're interested in understanding like the hierarchy, so it shouldn't be a guess. So if you approach the question, the poll question, which is what would you do with $1,000? If you're just guessing and you're just guessing, you might want to get Tiffany Alice's book, because she did a beautiful job of explaining. And I promise you, I wish somebody had told me that. Child, I would be a millionaire, and I would be a millionaire for real. It wasn't like I didn't make the money. I made money. I just didn't know what to do with the money. I didn't learn what to do with money, y'all, till well in my 50s. So we here trying to help young people. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, because most of the women in our community we kind of fall in the same category. We didn't know early on. This week the market is marketing, ain't it? Ain't it? You see, I'm up here checking it out. Let me just peek real quick. Hold on. Yeah, look at Nike. Nike way up over 72. Y'all see her? That's what got me up out of my bed. Let me pull it up again. This what got me up out of my bed, this chart right here. We went to bed last night and it closed out at like $62 and some change. Nike up $10 today, overnight. We sold our contracts yesterday, but we don't have no FOMO. We don't have no regrets. We took that money, we made money like very quickly. We cashed out. I bought 3 contracts. I sold all 3 before the end of the trading day. We took the money and let me see if I can show it to you. I think it might still be in my let's see if it's here. Oh no, I think it just because it fell off last night. Okay. So no, I should have screenshotted it. But we made about $175 on that trade. I'm not going to even think what we could have made had we held on to it because it only popped up $2. Could you imagine had we held on to at least one of those contracts overnight? But I don't like holding on to contracts overnight because of stuff like this. You never know what's going to happen in the market overnight. Have I swung trade or swing? Do I swing trades from time to time? Yes. I love me a good swing, but you run the risk. Just like it popped up, it could have tanked. So it worked out to the upside in this case. But debt is an ogre. Y'all see? Come in here. Tell them debt is an ogre and it'll keep you in bondage. And so, yes, I even reading her book, back to what the subject at hand, talking about Tiffany Alichi's book, she talks about budgeting. She talks about this book is so good, it's comprehensive. She talks about the role of insurance and protecting your assets and what you've worked so hard for. She talks about investing for wealth and investing for retirement. Don't y'all know? I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know there was a difference. Investing for retirement and investing for wealth. Investing for retirement would look like putting money into your 401k. But of course, at this point, we should all know that your 401k shouldn't just be sitting. If you have any agency over that money, you might want to put that money into a brokerage account or move it into an account where you or somebody is managing that money and it is making money in the market. I personally, there's certain 401k vehicles that I like and I don't. Like, I don't like them target date funds. Don't put me in no cookie cutter fund for everybody. I just think we can do, as we become educated about how money works, which is what I do now. I'm a retired teacher turned financial literacy advocate. I am not a financial advisor. I am a Black woman who made all the mistakes in life. Not because I was a bad person, not because I didn't make money. It was because I did not know. My mama didn't know. You can't teach folks what you don't know. My grandmama and them didn't know. They knew, they were taught to save money. Yes. And she has a support tools that go with that book. I'm telling you, if you can't afford to join the community right now, we have a $99 Kickstarter. I can sit down with you. It's a 30-minute consultation. At least in that time, we can look at your finances and kind of give you a little direction. And then I can show you how our community can further help you. Because what happened to me was I just didn't know. I didn't know. Target date funds aren't for me either. Yes. And I'm gonna tell y'all, somebody very close to me that I love still has a target date fund. And I don't know if it's just because they're dragging their feet and they don't want to get rid of it or there's fear there. I don't know. I just think you could do so much better. Those A target date fund, if you don't know what it is, it will have like a certain date that's it's lined up with your expected retirement. So let's say you're going to retire in 2040. So your target date fund will be like whatever it is, 2040. And as you get closer to your retirement, they will shift the holdings in your account to more conservative holdings as you get older. The thing about that is that everybody that's in there, everybody gets the same treatment. Well, my needs and my risk tolerance and, can't be the same as everybody that's in this fund. And so I think a better way to go would be to educate yourself and take some agency over your own money. Which dividend stocks would you invest in? Okay, because first of all, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Girl, y'all not gonna have nobody looking for me. I prefer ETFs, and ETFs are exchange traded funds. They're a basket of stocks. I prefer dividend ETFs if it were me. And I like them because they're simple. You don't have to do much fundamental analysis. If you're buying one company, one stock, you really need to understand that company, in order to invest wisely. I'll get to single stocks, but I would do an ETF. Some that I might consider depending on what your goal is. If you're looking for a growth ETF, that's going to be a little more volatile. That means you're going to see a little more price fluctuation. It may be a little more heavy in tech. So something like VGT, something like VUG. These are Vanguard funds. These are growth funds. These are growth ETFs that pay dividends. I would have said SCHD up until recently, but SCHD, which is a Schwab dividend fund, has been an OG for a long time. But SCHG ain't doing so swell. SCHD, let me fix that, and let me pull up SCHD's chart. SCHD. Okay, so I'm gonna pull it up, and I'm gonna look at SCHD over the last 3 years, just so you can see. Let me pull this chart in. So can you see it? This is SCHD. And at one time, it's a slow mover. So what I will say about SCHD is that it's slow and steady. It's like your boyfriend that you come over with his tool belt. He's steady Eddie. You can depend on him. He's not gonna be doing nothing crazy, no flippity flip moves on you. And so it pays a dividend. So that would, if you're talking about a dividend, again, we're talking about ETFs, but it's not nearly as volatile as a VGT or VUG. If you're looking for something maybe not as slow moving as SCHD, maybe VYM, that's a Vanguard high yield dividend fund, again, an ETF. And I like, this is just what I like. And let's say it together, class. I am not a financial advisor. I am a Black woman. I'm a retired teacher turned financial literacy advocate. I understand how important it is at this late stage. So if I can do it, I'm 60. If I can do it at this late stage, if I can roll up my sleeves, look, Rita, girl, did you see Nike? I'm sorry, I had to break character. Did you see Nike jump up $10? Rita, we could be rich. Girl, we could all be rich. That's another great book. Y'all, we just in here today. We're going to be all over the place. That's another good book. Rachel Rogers, we read that book last year. Rachel Rogers, We Should All Be Millionaires. These are all books that deal with money mindset. So we read Rachel Rogers' book, We Should All Be Millionaires. We're currently reading Tiffany Alichi's book, Get Good with Money. One of our very own community members, Sabangale, she wrote a book now about that budget. So I'm telling y'all, if y'all not in the community, you need to get in there, because we're talking twice a month about real money things. Hey, Courtney. So the question was, which dividend stocks? Now, if I had to pick a stock, now this one's not going to be popular, and I'm telling you, do not follow me. I am not a financial advisor. But for my grandchildren, I have MO. MO is Altria, which is a cigarette company. Altria, they pay a pretty decent little dividend. But I'll tell you stocks that you don't want to consider for if you're looking to create dividend income. Like you would stay away from your Nvidias, because their dividend is nothing. They are primarily growth companies, and they take their money and their profits and reinvest them back into the company. You would probably want to look at you some aristocrats. Look at you some dividend aristocrats. Look at you some king stocks. Yeah, that's all I can say really, without getting into anything specific. But personally, I don't do individual stocks because I prefer the diversity of an ETF. that's just that. I personally, if it was me, I would go with a dividend paying ETF. And you can look those up. I mean, yeah. So let's see who all is in here. Yes. Yeah, y'all might as well. Okay, during this phase of the program, y'all might want to turn your notifications on because I don't have no schedule no more. If I'm awake and the mood hits me, I'm gonna throw y'all out alive real quick, real quick. So that was SCHD. Let me pull Nike back up in this joint because that was what we were studying, Nike, and we just watched Nike. Yeah, up $9.74 overnight. I ain't mad. It is what it is. So this was the chart. If you're looking at my chart now, mm, those red lines that you see, that's a tool called Fibonacci's retracement. It helps you. Some people say that you could use it in place of support and resistance, but it helps you identify buy and sell zones. It helps you kind of make sense of price action. And so Nike was so interesting because it was sitting right down here at $60, which was a pretty strong support. And when you have price sitting at support, support acts like a floor. It can either sit there. If it sits there, like buyers don't know what to do. That's consolidation where the price it may hang out around $60, 62, vacillate in that tight little range over time. That's consolidation where it's not really doing anything. Or it can break through. Like I was fully expecting because I'm not gonna say nothing because I be trying to get back in the country, y'all. So I had to keep my stuff politically correct. But at any rate, y'all know got tariffs and everything. I need some water right quick. Think about it. If those tariffs go into effect, China, y'all know Nikes are made in overseas. That could affect the price of Nikes and any goods and services that are produced, any goods in particular that are produced overseas. These tariffs are a big deal. So with that in mind, and Nike sitting at support, you could see this downward tumble. Nike at one time was at $131 a share. That's half. They have lost half of their market, the value of their shares. They were down to $60. They still $72 is still a far cry from 130 something dollars. This nice little bounce is cute, but I'm still looking to see how the tariffs are going to affect the price of Nikes. Because think about it. If I'm who's buying Nikes? Younger people primarily. You think they care if them Nikes come from what's this on the online shoe places? My son used to buy his shoes online all the time. You think they care if they come from Poshmark? I think if prices of Nikes shoot up, it's going to get interesting. If the tariffs start to affect prices in that way, it's going to get real interesting. Yes, this is the book, We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rogers. We read that one. That's a good book to talk about money mindset. This is the book we're currently reading in our learning community. I'm trying to encourage y'all. Y'all better come on. Y'all better come on, get in here. Let's see. Thank you, Marilove. Another so-called trade agreement between China and Trump was just announced. So maybe that's why Nike is moving. I hope so. I hope they work it out because, man, that was ugly. Yeah, Nvidia's dividend is, yes, a penny a share. Yes, because growth companies tend to reinvest. Young companies, growth companies tend to reinvest their money to continue the growth of the company. Blue chip stocks like, your Coca-Colas, Pepsi, your OGs, they've been around forever. They've popped their cork. They've done all the growing they're going to do. So when they have money, they've got a surplus of money, they tend to pay it back to their shareholders. So if you've got to pick a single stock for dividends, it certainly wouldn't be like a Palantir, an Nvidia. I don't know what Palantir's dividend is, but I know for a fact Nvidia's is a penny, honey, because I own Nvidia and it's nothing. So for me personally, just to get back to that last question, I personally would find a good dividend paying ETF because I like ETFs, exchange traded funds, because of their ease. And you have diversification there. You don't have to worry about one company, something happening with one company. Hey, hey, sister. Yes. Listen, girl, I think I found my sweet spot. Because listen, normally, of course, I would be sleepy. I'm sleepy. I'm too sleepy to trade with real money. So y'all see I'm in my paper money account. But as long as I'm not stressed, I don't mind trading out of my paper money account. Let me go ahead and change the view on this to 5 minutes so we can just kind of see up to the minute what Nike is doing. But here's the pop. This pop here happened as a result of earnings. These two are indicators of earnings. They had their conference call 6:26 at 4 p.m. and their earnings came in better than expected. And so of course, it's going to give you a little juice. And then this morning we woke up and buyers were happy to be buying. And then this is kind of the natural progression. You see a pop up like that, it hits this all-time high. So the traders, not the investors, but the traders that are out there who are trading, day trading, they're going to take advantage of that. They're going to hop in, get that, but then you'll see this little dip. And generally that's like the sell off because now they're taking profits. But when you see these SMAs, these simple moving averages all spread out like this, in my experience, a couple things can happen. It may get caught up. I want to say this is I have to see because these are not my normal colors and I need to fix this. What is this purple one? Hold on. It'll tell you my yellow is my 50-day. I know this is my 200-day. The green is my 9-day, and this is my 20-day moving average. So if it holds, it may ride this all the way up. It may just do this little bumpy snake. I call it the little bunny hop. It may bunny hop and ride that 20-day moving average all the way up. So when they're spread apart like this, that's a good sign. This down here is our RSI, relative strength index. I would always get this mixed up, relative strength indicator or relative strength index, but it's the relative strength index. And you can see that it's pretty high. It's well above 50. This is our TTM squeeze. This is another indicator, just helps you kind of see where we are in the cycle. Are we in an uptrend, a downtrend? And that's the same thing with our MACD. And so I'm a trend trader. Folks trade all different kind of ways. The trend is your friend, honey. Don't be making your work hard. If this thing is things that are in an upward trend tend to, continue to go up until something happens. If something is in a downward trend, it tends to continue to go in a downward trend. So that's why I said I'm going to be watching Nike closely to see, because they have been I'm talking about a long term. If we pull out and look at it, and I'll do it one more time. If you pull out and look at it by weeks, look, Nike's been in a downward trend overall for a very long time. And it just happened to hit this. Let me see. This high was back in 2023. So for the last 2 years, it's been like all downhill. And it hits this, that was 57. I was 57, $60 in this range. It hit this, which is a very strong kind of hold. That price, it's a support, and it bounced off of the support, and we got this nice little bounce, helped out by earnings. I'm just saying. So that's the stuff that we do. TTM, I don't even know what the let me see, because that's a good question. I don't know what the initials stand for, but it is an indicator that it helps you determine the trend. So let me look up and I'll tell you exactly what those letters stand for. What? I'm sure it's probably whoever invented the indicator, TTM. I'll let you know. What does TTM stand for? Yeah, it's the trailing 12-month. TTM refers to the data of the past 12 consecutive months. I don't know. TTM squeeze. Let me put that in there. I mean, but I'll show it to you and I'll tell you how it works. TTM squeeze. No. TT. TTM squeeze. It's an indicator, and I want to give you a good definition, but I'll tell you how it works. Okay, it stands for trade. Okay, trade the markets. It's named for the original creator, John Carter. It's not the trailing 12 month. I was going to say, I know that's not it. The TTM squeeze is a momentum and volatility indicator that combines Bollinger Bands. Don't pay attention to any of this. It's simpler than this definition. But Bollinger Bands, Kiltner channels, and a momentum histogram. So it's this thing. I'm going to move this comment out of the way. Hold on. I'm going to take this out. It's this indicator down here at the bottom. Let me get over here so I can show it to you. Is this here? And I'm going to give you, this is the way I would explain it to a kid. This is the way I would explain it to a beginning trader. It's color coded. You all see this light blue, and you see how this light blue is getting taller and taller and taller. Well, look up here. This up here is what money. This is the money part. These candlesticks tell us what the price is doing. Well, you can see that it kind of coordinates as the TTM, as these bars get taller and taller, and they maintain this bright blue, the price of this stock is going up. You see that you get this color change. You get this dark, now it's dark blue, and you can see visually that now these bars are getting smaller and smaller. And look what's happening. Price is going down. So it kind of helps you see where you are in a trend. You want to know if price is in an upward trend, you might want to ride it up. But you don't want to take the ride back down. If you're making profit and the price is going up, you want to get out when the getting is good. Well, these indicators help you see when the trend might be ending. And when you see this blue color coming in, it's an indication that this upward trend is now starting to reverse. And so as it gets darker, as it turns to this dark blue and these bars get smaller and smaller, look what happens to the price. The price starts to dip. Then we go into these red bars. These red bars down here on my TTM are actually, you can see, price is really, now it's going down. When they say a momentum indicator, it has to do with how quickly price is coming down. Because, here price is coming down, but not like it was shooting down right here. So now you see as these red bars get bigger and bigger, price is coming down with a little more, a little more momentum. And then price continues to go down. But then look, these bars turn yellow and they get smaller and smaller. Well, what's happening? This trend is starting to reverse again. And if you look at the price here, now that they're turning yellow, price is starting to go back up. And then you see prices going up. They're light blue, blue, blue. Price is going up, up, up. Then price goes down, and then look what happens. So you get this. I use it to help me decide like when I'm going to get out of a trade. If I was in this, and this is on the weekly chart, let me pull it down on something that we might use for a daily chart. So let me look at a 5-minute chart. It might make a little more sense. Yeah, we could use this. We could use Nike for today. Same thing. Look at this. And so let's say you're a day trader. You get in, and in the morning you put on your trade. Each one of these candlesticks represents 5 minutes. So the first 5, 10, 15 minutes of the day, price is going up. And suddenly you're in this trade, price kind of stabilizes, and then you see these blue bars start to come in. You might want to, if you are just in it for the quick money, you might want to cash out and take your profit, because these blue bars are telling you that upward trend is getting ready to change. These dark blue bars, and as they get smaller and smaller and smaller, look what happens to the price. The price starts to come down. And so we can use this to gauge the momentum of the trend, because as these bars get bigger, It means that that trend is getting stronger. As these bars get smaller, it tells us that not only as the color changes, it tells us that the trend is changing. It's no longer upward trend, y'all. Now we're going down. And then as the bars get smaller, it's going down with less force. You can see the size of the candles are even smaller. You can see the variation, or the difference in price is even smaller. Look how much price went up in the first 5 minutes. And that's why that's the momentum. That's a lot. A lot of buyers entered the market, and a lot of buyers shot the price up very quickly. So you see a lot of volume here. This is volume. Volume tells you how many people are actually buying and selling in that first 5 minutes. So we use candlesticks, just tell us the price, what the price is doing. So the price started here, opened up around 69, and in that first 5 minutes shot up to over $71 in the first 5 minutes of the day. This is volume, and you can read the number over here. I want to say it's in millions. That's how many millions of people were actually trading. So you can see it's a lot of volume. This is my MACD. It's also a momentum and trend indicator. It does some other stuff too. But you can see, as long as these bars are green, 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 and you see them getting taller and taller and taller, yeah, because the price is going up. You see they change color and then they start to diminish, because guess what? Now price ain't going up like that. Price is going down. And then you see them turn into this red. This indicates that now we're into this kind of downward trend. We aren't going up like we were going. And then also we use these here. There's this crossover. This blue line here is on top of this yellow. You see it cross under. So this is a crossover, indicating too that upward trend is reversing. So you use all these things to kind of help you gauge when to get out to trade. So if it was me, and I caught this move in the morning, honey, I'm not sticking around. You show me 3 or 4 red candles, and because when the price goes down, if you're still sitting in this trade, you're giving back all that money that you made. So you want to use all of these tools to help you know when to get out. So you want to ride up. You don't want to ride back down and get back the money you just made in the first 15 minutes of the day. So hopefully that helps you. I hope that helps. I hope it helps you see how simple it can be. It's simple to read a chart. Now, having the ability to assimilate all these moving pieces together, it takes some practice. Trading is not, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to trade, but you do have to be astute. And this is why I don't trade sleepy. I don't trade sleepy, because when you're sleepy, you're not making your best decisions. And sometimes in trading, you're making snap decisions. And so this is a 5-minute chart. So each one of those candles represents 5 minutes. If I'm really day trading, I'm not looking at my 5-minute. I'm looking at my 3-minute chart. I'm looking at what price is doing 3 minutes at a time, because I really do want to get out. So you can see 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So the first 20 minutes of the day, price is jumping up. It hits an all-time high. Then you see these red candles come in. Just think about it. If you made money like this, that price jumped up $10, $9, $10 the first thing in the morning. Girl, you don't care. You getting out of there. I'm getting out. I'm taking profit. And then you'll see people start to sell off, and you'll see the price go down. Buyers send the price up. The more people buy, the higher the price gets. It's no different than with Nikes. If everybody wants it, what Nike gonna do? They're gonna start charging you $200. They not crazy. Price goes up. Then if nobody is buying it, you got to put it on sale to get people through the door to buy it again. So buyers push the price up. Sellers push the price down. And so as the price goes down, if you didn't sell up here and you wait here to sell, you just gave back all of this money in profit. So you want to use all of these things here to help you know when your uptrend or your downtrend is getting ready to change. And so if you look at this dark blue, you can see now, look what happened. The price starts to go down. It went from 72.46, and it got all the way down to 71.39. And it's just that simple. You can see the same thing with your MACD. These bright greens, everybody know green mean go. Prices going up, 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 up. The bigger these bars are, it talks, the momentum. Prices going up, it's going up with some oomph. Folks in here buying, we buying. And then you can see it start to cool off as these turn dark green. And then when it crosses over into this red here, it is definitely indicating that this is no longer an upward trend. We are now prices trending downward. And you can see that. Then they turn this darker red, and you can see that, yeah, price is still going down, but not with the same amount of momentum. And then you just look up here and look what the price is doing. Oh, price is trying to creep up again. So I know it looks complicated, but I promise you it really isn't. And let me get over here because I hope y'all could hear me and see me. Did that make any sense at all? I hope that made some sense. Sandra's on Thinkorswim. Yes, the platform that I'm using is Thinkorswim. And let me roll back through. I hope that made some sense, Katrina, because it really isn't, it's not rocket science. And that's what makes me so angry that we, as an educator, I know how policy works in schools. They can teach anything they want. If they have the political might, they can teach anything, y'all. I watch programs come and go year in, year out. They will find the money if they want to switch a program. Why we don't teach financial literacy in elementary schools is nothing short of criminal. And I'm going to tell you why I think it happens. Because, honey, if we all making money in the stock market and we all getting rich, who going to be the cogs in the wheel? Who going to work in the fields? If everybody over here is a millionaire, who going to work? For capitalism to work, a certain amount of people have to be the workers. Everybody can't be a millionaire. If we all millionaire, who gonna do that work? Who gonna wash the dishes? Who gonna drive the buses? So it doesn't serve a capitalist society to educate everybody on financial literacy. So it's up to us. So I'm ringing the bell. I'm sounding the alarm. We need to. And I don't want y'all to even think this is not a push to join my community. I think you should, because it's safe over there, honey. we protect one another. We share information. I'm telling y'all, when them sisters get a lick, when they find something that's working, they tell it. We all do. We tell when we find something that's working. And so collectively, we're all becoming better educated financially. And so I don't care where you learn it, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm just saying, if you're waiting on the government to teach you how to understand money, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen, because somebody got to go and wash the dishes. Somebody got to do that. I was wondering if Nike's been affected by resellers. They gotta be. Do you then look at the company to see what might be happening and causing it to? Yes. Yep. Katrina, here's one of the features, and I can't do it on here. I'll go over here. But one of the features on Thinkorswim, I'm going to open this up. It's called Trader TV. And right here, you can put CNBC on, and it will actually be playing the news up to the minute. This is in real time news. Let me see if I can get my Trader TV to come on. And I'm going to make sure the volume is down. Yes. So, of course, yep, you are actually, every good trader, if you're day trading, meaning you're making money day by day, or maybe you're holding a trade for a week, you're glued to the news. It's one of the reasons why I personally, as a newer trader, I don't trade 55,000 different stocks. I find one. I learned that stock. NBC Plus. So you can see here's up
Welcome
to
back to Money Movers. Bill Pulte's crusade against Fed Chair Powell is intensifying.
Everybody, every good trader I know trades with the news on, because you need to know. So they're talking about what Chairman Powell is talking about. That can affect everything that's happening with the stock. if, Nike, you got to be in the know. Nike just had earnings. You want to know that. And so that's another reason why I don't trade sleepy. So Trader TV is a way you can get up to the date, up to the moment news while you're trading. There's also another, oh, here it is, live news. This is another, these are called gadgets. And live news, like I have Nike here in the ticker, and these are live, up to the minute articles that are being printed about Nike. And so let's see if it tells us anything. Nike stock is headed for a swoosh shaped recovery after years of pain. And so you might want to read that article. I can click on this and it'll bring up this article, and I don't have to speculate why Nike is in this uptrend. You've got all that information right there. So trading is not for the weak. That's all I'm going to say. I'll say this, and I've said it before. Every Black person I know needs to be an investor. You need to be an investor. Trading is something else. You need to be an investor. You need to make sure that, one, please get educated about money. You don't have to have a formal budget, but you should know where your money is going. You should have a 3-month to 6-month emergency fund. And everybody got to start somewhere. I know somebody out there saying, girl, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I understand that life. But you should still be putting away $5. Something. All of us could cut back on a coffee. All of us could cut back and pay yourself first. It does you no good to pay off all your bills and you working and you're not paying yourself. I did that. That ain't gonna work. You're never gonna be wealthy not paying yourself. And so you're going to have a budget. You're going to create a savings 3 to 6 months emergency fund. You want to put that in a high yield savings account, or you want to put it somewhere that is not subject to the volatility of the stock market. I would make sure I had that someplace. You also want it to be somewhat liquid. If you got an emergency, you need to be able to get to that money. You don't want it tied up in your investments. You don't want to have to pull out your investment account or your 401k because the refrigerator broke down, because the car needs 4 tires, because you want to. So there's like a hierarchy of things you should be doing. You want to pay down credit card debt, because credit card debt is siphoning off money that you could possibly be using to invest for your retirement or invest for wealth. You want to, and I'm telling y'all, read Tiffany Alice's book, or do yourself one better. Join us in our learning community. We read the book together. I summarize the book for everybody. Even if you ain't got the book, I read the doggone book. I summarize the chapter. I pull out the highlights, the points, and then I just go over it. And we do that twice a month. So even if you don't want to read the book, I have to read the book because, somebody got to lead the discussion. So I have to read the book. So there's a hierarchy of things you should be doing. Now, I don't know about y'all. Maybe y'all mamas and daddies taught y'all that, but my mom and my daddy didn't teach me that. And so I have to, you got to learn it. And because we've got the internet now, y'all, we got books, we got internet. It's the great equalizer. It's the great equalizer. I don't need nobody to tell. You ain't got to tell me nothing, honey. Just get out my way. Give me some space. I'll figure it out myself. I'll go do the research myself. We got ChatGPT. We've got way too many tools at our disposal to not know how money works. Once you learn how money works, you know how to make money work for you. Now you don't have to work till you 70, because you got your money over here, honey, making money while you sleeping. So whoever owns this Nike stock, if they own the stock, I personally wouldn't. I don't want none. Y'all can have it. I don't want none. I can find other places to put my money. But if you trade in, you're making some short-term money. Investing and trading. Every Black person I know should be investing. I do not think everybody needs to be a trader. Trading requires discipline. It requires that you study. Yes, Katrina, you asked me, do you need to be up on, what's happening with the company that you're investing in? Yes. And that requires time. And that's why I'm telling you, I am very selective about how I trade and how I invest my money. If I have not studied that chart, If I don't know exactly where, everything that's going on with that company, you just guessing now. Why? You can know. Thinkorswim has a whole education tab. They've got news that's playing. They've got articles that no Nike can't make a move and somebody not writing an article about it, but you got to read it. And so, yeah, if you're not going to put in that kind of time to study a company and study your chart and plot your support and resistance, if you're not going to do that, you don't need to be trading. You need to just be coming on over here with us and get you some ETFs. Set it and forget it. You need to just come on over here. And that's why I promise y'all, I started out this journey more heavily trading than investing. But I'm not going to say it's dangerous. A little bit of knowledge is dangerous, period. What I saw, you can make money very quickly as a trader. But if you're not disciplined, if you're not the master of your emotions, you could lose money too. And what I saw, and this would happen to me, and I've said it before, y'all could run the tape. I would have people send me a message like, I'm looking at NVIDIA. Should I buy a call or a put? First of all, if you don't know whether or not you should buy a call or a put your phone down. You do not need to be trying to trade. I think the lure of making money quickly, that's pretty attractive. Everybody want to make money, but you don't want to be fooling around and trading. You need to be over here investing with us where you stand a better chance. It's going to take you a little longer to build up your portfolio, but you're not going to hurt yourself. You can hurt yourself trading and you don't have enough knowledge. Sounds like French to me, Katrina. It don't have to sound like French. I promise you, when I tell you that joint is color coded, it's color coded, girl. And we can totally decipher this thing. I'm gonna give you all some good resources. And this is how I would do it. If I love these videos, if I had to start learning to trade, if I had to start today, what would I do differently? I would do two things. I would watch some YouTube videos because I don't care what nobody say. YouTube University is the truth. Black Girl Stocks, Rainer Teo is a good teacher. Oliver Velez, he's a good technician. He's going to teach you how to read charts. He's just good overall. Who else would I look at for trading? I would start with those three. I like Chris Sane, Wall Street Trapper. He does investing and trading. But yeah, Chris Sane, Rainer Teo, Black Girl Stocks, and yeah, start there. Watch some videos. Just watch. Ain't no stakes, low stakes. Then I would open up a brokerage account. Yep. If you don't know how to do that, girl, that's what we do. I do that every day. I can help you open a brokerage account. You might not know how to answer those questions. I got you. Just say we can take the fear out of this for you. I'll sit with you, help you open up a brokerage account. This ain't a problem. I would start there. Then I would start practicing. They give you $200,000 in paper money, girl. You can't hurt nothing. I would just be in there tinkering. That's what I would do. I would learn the program. Then I would learn how to work Thinkorswim, that program. Low stakes. You can open up a brokerage account with $0. $0. Put $5 or $10 in there. Cool. I would start practicing from there. Then I really would get in community with some other people because there's something about they don't have to read the book because I'm gonna read the book. There's somebody else in there. I don't have to study every company because the Bangale or somebody else, they are investing in this company. They're going to bring that back. It's something about community. It's something about shared work, spreading out the responsibility. I learn every time I show up because somebody in that group is going to bring something that I didn't know. And there's no shame. I don't sit up like, well, I don't. They know I don't know it all. I will tell anybody in New York Minute, I don't know, let's look it up. I cannot tell you how many things I have learned in the community that I host. Rita asked early on, we all have Schwab and Fidelity accounts. She was like, what's the difference between FCash and SPAXX? I'm like, girl, I don't know. I don't know. Let's find out together. Now we do know. Fast Cash and SPXX are places where they hold your uninvested cash. They have different purposes. One is a money market. they pay differently. So if you're looking, SPAXX is a money market. It is going to pay you better than having your money sitting in FCAT. Well, I wouldn't have known that if Rita hadn't asked the question. I wouldn't have known. I didn't know anything about bonds. I wouldn't have known anything about bonds if Katrina had said, Sandra, why don't we talk about T-bills? Girl, I don't know about no T-bills. Now I do. All of it. It's all of it. And collectively, we all are better as a result. So, yes, that's what we got going on. It says, LTL, this is my type of fun, fun day Friday. Hey, chef. Let's see, all day eloquence. Hi, trading. What trading platform? I'm using Thinkorswim. Yep, yep. I'm trying to see. Put cues in front of your questions. Yep. I'm just rolling through, y'all. Katrina, did that make some sense? We see you and hear you. Okay, it is. Did I freeze? Yeah, they definitely want us to stay. They want us to stay broke, girl, not just low class. They don't care nothing about class. They want you to stay sick. They want you to stay preoccupied. They want you living day to day. They want you stressed. Turn the news off. Turn the news off. Turn on CNBC. Turn off that other foolishness. You don't need to follow the Diddy trial. You don't need to know what the little orange man is doing every minute of the day. Turn on CNBC and see what they're doing with this money. Because I'm telling you, that's where it's at. That's what's going to pay off in the end. It's been America's plan for centuries. Yep. People are just now waking up. Maryland knows the truth. Maryland has been so instrumental, and this is just me saying this. I say this even when Maryland's not in the room. Maryland has been so instrumental in my trading journey. Maryland was there with me from the beginning. It's so wonderful to have somebody who's watching you, because Marilyn would be in there telling me no FOMO. I struggled in the beginning because new to trading. You don't know. Trading will test you as a person. It will show you who you are. If you have some money trauma, if you have scarcity mindset, if you operate out of fear, baby, it'll show up in your trading, because you will make decisions based subconsciously. You will make decisions based on fear. And early on in my trading journey, I had FOMO so badly because I didn't understand how the market works. You do not have to take a trade on Monday just because the market is open. Because, baby, trust me, they're going to open on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then they're going to open up again next week. I would approach a trade early on like, oh, my God, everything depends on this. I need to make this money today. No, you don't. What you need to do is wait for the best possible setup. You need to wait for your best possible chance at coming out on top and having someone watch you. I'm telling you, that's what community does. Having somebody watch you and observe your behavior, because you caught up in the moment, you caught up in the trade, you caught up in the money because it's money. Having somebody who is disconnected and objectively observing your behavior and giving you feedback, priceless. That's the beauty of operating in community, period, y'all. That's across the board. That's just in life. To have someone you trust watching and giving you feedback, priceless. You can't pay for that. Can't pay for it. And Black Girls Invest too. Yep, she does trading. She does, I think, a little bit of everything: trading, investing, retirement planning. Who else, Marilyn? In terms of traders, like Mommy Trader is really a long-term investor. She's good for investors. I wouldn't put Mommy Trading if you're talking about trading. I'm talking about day trading, swing trading, scalping, that kind of thing. Okay, so let me see. Somebody said Sandra and all the ladies are so welcoming. It's a very safe place. Yeah. Well, we no shame. No shame at all. Because, all of us got a money story. Y'all, I'm very open about my money story. Many of us, and I can tell this, I got my first job when I was 14 years old. so that I could have school clothes, the school clothes I wanted. So many of us come from that. We have worked. We were taught to work and save. I don't ever remember ever hearing anybody in my upbringing discuss investing in the stock market. I don't remember not one soul. And so many of us share that. And if you have a different background, then God bless you. You are ahead of the game. But if you are like some of us and you've got, a fair bit of fear around money, girl, get with somebody. Get with somebody. Get with somebody to help you understand how that goes. So for those people who joined us late, here's how I got on here in the first doggone place. I'm starting this 30-day series. And the name of the series, the name of this video is, what would you do if you had $1,000? And today's question is, would you invest it or would you pay down debt? And for everybody, it's really going to depend on your circumstances. If you don't have any debt to pay down, then that's a no-brainer. But if you're a younger person and you've got bills and children and you got a car, you've got responsibilities, you might not want to take that $1,000 and invest it if you don't have a 3 to 6 months emergency fund. Because if you take that $1,000 and invest it and the refrigerator break down and you don't have 3 to 6 months saved for an emergency, what you gonna do? Cash in your investments? Go to your 401k? Where are you gonna get the money from? So Tiffany Alici's book is a great book. If you don't want to study alone, come join us. You are so welcome to join us. Every 2 weeks, we do 2 hours. Our first hour is investing talk. We do money mindset. We're still doing our low spend, no spend challenge, which has helped me. Let me tell you, I can just tell you what happened to me. It has forced me. It's an outgrowth of the book. In Tiffany Alici's book, she asks you before you purchase anything to consider these 4 questions. Do I like it? Do I love it? Do I want it? Do I need it? If you like it, you don't necessarily need to buy that. If you love it, and I like this part, I appreciate this perspective. If you love it, you should be buying things and doing things for yourself that you love. Nobody wants to be, just living on tea and toast. Then the second part is, do I want it or do I need it? If you want it, that might be a purchase that you could put off. But if you need it, you need it. You shouldn't be certainly working every day and you can't provide for the things you need. So I love the perspective of those 4 questions. And then on top of that, we layered in our low spend, no spend challenge, which really having somebody to be accountable to every 2 weeks. Katrina, one of the ladies in our community, headed up and spearheaded our low spend, no spend challenge. Now that has helped me, because now when I go into a store, I'll give y'all a perfect example. Today, me and one of my travel sisters wandered into the Michael Kors store. It wasn't even my choice. I know better. I don't even go on. I look from the outside. I'm happy to look from the outside. Number one, I don't have no space to carry no bags. I don't have no space to carry nothing. If I buy a dress, child, I got to get rid of a dress. So I followed her in. I promise you. We weren't in there 30 minutes before I was looking at a mic, but in my defense, it was a wonderful travel bag. It would have been the perfect travel personal bag. It had the zip, it had the wide crossbody, it was big enough, it could fit your laptop, everything. The salesman tells me, well, if you buy this one, you can get, it's half off. But if you add on another bag, that's going to be half off and we'll give you 20% off. Y'all, for a minute, I was like, wait a minute. I stopped myself. I said, do you want this? Do you need it? Do you like it? Do you love it? We stopped all that right in its tracks. I was like, sir, I don't even need this bag. Why am I even listening to your speech? Stop me right in my tracks. Before, child, I'd have bought that bag. Are you kidding me? I'd have bought that bag, the accessories, all of it. He'd have had me because I didn't have that built-in breath. I would have just bought it because, man, it is a bargain. No, I don't need it. Nope, don't need it. Oh, Lisa J. Stocks. Yep. Lisa J. Stocks. Now she is, I think Lisa's more an investor too. But Lisa's got good content. Lisa was the first person to introduce me to, we talked about dollar cost averaging, and let me just switch gears real quick. Dollar cost averaging, meaning that you automate your investing. So this is what I say when I'm saying pay yourself first. You set it up, open up your brokerage account, set it up so that money comes out automatically, or you're investing at the same interval, the same amount, no matter what. Y'all check out Lisa's video. She was investing $1 a day and $10 a day. I think she did a couple challenges. And I need to hook up with her because we both invest in VTI. She was doing $10 a day, which works out to about $300 a month. I was doing, and I still do, $125 a week, which works out to $500 a month. I would be curious to see, because think about it, she's putting in $10 a day. She's going to catch highs and lows. And we go round and round about this. Is it better to dollar cost average in or lump sum? Put it all in at once. She's going to catch some days when the price is lower. I'm only going in 4 days out of the month. She's going to catch more low days, when the price is low. I don't know. I hope that makes sense. I would be curious to see, whose average price is lower, or, who, I don't know. Anyway, check her out. That's all I'm going to say about that. Check her out. Okay, let's see what else. Oh yeah, baby. It was the total sales spin. And he had us both in. He had reeled us in with it's half price. A good leather bag, half price. Okay, you got my attention. And now on top of the 50% off, we're gonna give you another 20% off. Well, wait a minute, that bring the bag all the way down to this. Before you know it, you done spent $400. I said, sir, let me get up out of here. I don't need this bag. Lisa's journey to financial freedom. Say yes. Staying out of debt. And I'm assuming that's her YouTube channel too, you guys. Yep. What is this? Share your referral link. Oh, for StreamYard. Whatever. Okay. So y'all, today's question was, if you had $1,000, and if you're here, chime in. Please drop it in the chat for me now. If you had $1,000, suddenly somebody just gave you $1,000. What you gonna do? You gonna invest or you gonna pay down debt? I'll wait. I ain't got nothing to do. What y'all gonna do? Who's investing? Who's paying down debt? I'm gonna put mine in the chat. I'm gonna invest. Y'all know I'm going straight to the stock market with mine. This is one reason why I'm not shopping. It doesn't make sense to me anymore. I mean, I heard the pitch and that old Sandra kind of piped up, but now you cannot sell me a Louis Vuitton bag for $4,000 when I know the power of what $4,000 could do. Once I buy that Louis Vuitton bag, baby, that's gone. That $4,000 is gone. It ain't making me no money. I'm gonna invest every time. I'm sorry. I don't even feel bad. I don't, you ever been with somebody, y'all? I don't know. Maybe y'all don't have family members like this. Y'all ever have somebody, they're shopaholic. They want you to be a shopaholic too. They'll try to shame you. Well, how come you not shopping? Baby, I'm not shopping because I got better things to do. My resolve has so solidified. Once them people from China told us about all that stuff come off the same line, you can't sell me a luxury good. I don't want it. It's like seeing the wizard. We all done seen the wizard now. No, I don't want that bag. Why? Because you slapped MK on that bag. No, thank you. But what I will do is take that $1,000 and put it over here in the stock market. All for kicks. Why are you doing both? I like that. And I can see that. Why would you do both? Somebody said investing in VOO. We like a good S&P 500. VOO is a good investment. We like that. They could never sell me LV, I know, for $4,000. I could tell my own story. Every teacher, ooh, I almost said something. Every teacher I know in Chicago public schools, baby, had a Louis Vuitton bag. You wasn't nobody if you didn't have a Louis Vuitton bag. Guess who did not have a Louis Vuitton bag? Moi. And guess who retired early? Moi. Sure did. Never did it. You could have it. Guess who didn't own not one Gucci belt? Moi. And guess who ain't worried about no money? Moi. Y'all keep on working for them bags. They done told y'all right here. They told you for a while. I think China was ribbing the US. So it was, I loved them. All the memes. You suckers. They were like, you suckers. Y'all got suckered in. Luxury goods is the biggest sucker move ever. And I'm not saying, here's the difference. If you are independently wealthy, you could buy all the, it makes sense. You could buy all the bags you want. This is of no consequence to you. But if you are somebody who is working a job and you still haven't built up wealth where you can retire and money is no longer a concern for you, I don't care what you say. It's a sucker move. I do not care what you say. You could be making six figures if you lost your job in the morning and you would be in a hurting way. You should not have a Louis Vuitton bag. I said what I said, but you can. It's a free world. You can. That don't make no sense to me. And if you understood how money worked, you would understand what I'm saying. If you don't have 6 months savings where if an emergency came up, but you got a Louis Vuitton bag, make that ish make sense. But I was there. I could talk about it now. Because, child, nobody had more shoes and boots than me. Nobody had more leather bags than me. I just never went down the route of Louis Vuitton, but I would buy me a good Coach bag and a Michael Kors bag. Hey, it is what it is. I got debt. Yes, that makes sense. Half and half. Yep, absolutely. I like the way you think because that debt is going to be the death of us. Getting rid of debt. Okay. So that's the stuff that we talk about. And so each day, this for the next 30 days, I'll be posing a question like that. So please, I just want to know what y'all thinking. Go over to my community tab, hit the poll, take the poll, let us know. And down in the comments, just give me a little short explanation of why you would do. Let me see what tomorrow's is going to be. I went ahead and generated for the next 30 days. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. And so I'll give y'all a little preview of what it's going to be tomorrow. It says, they say the debt is an emergency. What? Wait a minute. What happened to my questions? Hold on. Anyway, now I can't preview because I can't find it. But it'll be something like what, if you had $1,000, would you take a class on how to become a better trader investor, or would you invest the money, or would you start a business? Would you start a side hustle, or would you invest in a family member? I don't know. I made them up. But so I'll be posting a different scenario every day. Hey, brown skin girl. Welcome, 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 welcome. If this is your first time here, y'all, please like, subscribe, and share the channel. We're just over here talking about money. That's it. That's all. While independently wealthy, I'm still buying bags at the warehouse in New York City. I agree. I agree. LV dresses, shoes, and purses. Hey, more power to y'all. But I can't justify it. Brown Girls Invest to download the free ebook. Marilyn hooking y'all up with the good. She hooking y'all up. Get over there. I don't care where you get it from. I want every Black woman to be free. You should not. It's a beautiful thing when you don't have to get up and go to work to somebody's job, when you are financially independent. If you don't know what that feels like, you should. You should know what that feels like. It's a beautiful thing. Y'all, I be sitting here, yes, indeed. Can y'all see that? Y'all see? That's KO Tower. Yeah, she do a whole little light show. Okay, she just went out. It's midnight. I sit here in this window. I get the most glorious sunset every day. I sit right here in this window, hydrating. I drink me some tea. I drink me some water. I start my day the same way. All my sisters still in the teacher trenches. God bless you. I try to tell y'all how to get out of there. Stop spending money. Stop. Stop. Invest. Become financially savvy. You could buy your own freedom. Buy a Louis Vuitton bag or buy your freedom. You pick. You pick. You couldn't pay me triple to go back into a classroom. I said what I said. You couldn't pay me triple. Baby, you could not pay me triple. You couldn't pay me. If they told me right now today, Sandra, we give you $1 million to go back to class, I'd be like, no, thanks. Mm-mm. It ain't worth the stress on your body. No, ma'am. I can meditate. I could touch my toes. I got me some yoga mats, y'all. I got me some weights. I sit on the side of my couch with my little 5-pound weights. I walk every day. I try to get in between at least 5 miles a day. I recently started taking, oh yeah, Marilyn, look at Marilyn hooking y'all up. Chrisane. Go ahead on, girl. To get debt free. Look, this is what we do in third grade. This is a round of applause. Good for you. That's what I'm talking about. Buy your own freedom. Get off the train. Get off the little hamster wheel. Because we've been on too long. And we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know all this uncertainty. We don't know what's going on. Freedom all day. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want. 500 on highest interest credit card. Yep, 500 to investment. And certainly, and if you don't have that 3 to 6 months savings, consider putting some of it there too. Y'all, this is all news to me. Let me tell you something else that helped me too. This gonna hurt your heart. I don't know who said it first, but we were talking about, I was sharing with them like all the shoes and fingernail polish. There's a thing called a Gazinga pen. Look it up. I can't remember which book. It was Your Money or Your Life. We read that book, and they introduced the concept of a Gazinga pen. And a Gazinga pen, anybody ever do this? Like, look at this. I don't even have no nails. I wasn't into it. Even when I was working, I always kept like very corporate nails. Why did I have fingernail polish every shade of yellow, every shade of blue, every shade of purple? Because we buy mindlessly. I was that girl. I bought mindlessly. Me and my girlfriend, we thought it was cute. Me and my little sister friend, we go every week when we get paid. We just picking up, oh girl, did you get all the reds? We're going to get all the reds. We're going to get all the blues. We're going to get all the pinks. It looked pretty on your dresser, but you're never going to use it. And somebody said this to me. She said, Sandra, just think about it. All that used to be money. Child, you could have took me out on a stretcher. She said all of that used to be cash money. Y'all know what I did when I sold my house? I bundled all that stuff up and gave it to my neighbor. All them polishes, all them dishes, my Christmas dishes, Easter dishes, Thanksgiving dishes. Who the? Consumerism. All that used to be money. Could you imagine? And I told this too. Y'all could run the tape. I sold everything I could when I was, buying my freedom back. When I tell y'all I was able to live for a full year out of the stuff that I sold out of my closets, my garage. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 closets chugged to the gills with shoes, bags, clothes, stuff. My garage, 2.5 car garage, I ain't got but 1 car. Why the whole other 1.5 chug, floor to ceiling? Sold it all. Was able to live off of it. It is Take the money, buy your freedom. Get out while you can. It is nothing like sitting in front of a beautiful window watching a sunrise and a sunset, and I ain't worried about nothing. If I had only known then what I know now. Yup, yup, yup. There you go. You understand. And I have to be careful because God forbid some of my former students run across this content. I need those children to understand they were the best part of the job. Now some of them were challenging, don't get me wrong. Near the end, the behaviors got challenging. I taught for almost 30 years. So, 30 years ago, kids were different, families were different, things were very different. Near the end, behavior, but it was never my biggest problem in the classroom. So when y'all see a teacher, I don't care what you think of her, hug her. When you see a social worker, a school nurse, hug them people. Them people in there wrestling with folks, these kids not the same. Y'all hug them people. Go take them some cookies, take them a gift card, do something. What ran me out was the politics. What ran me out was the workload, all the things that had nothing to do with kids. I can manage behavior. Good teachers understand behavior and management. You'll learn how to survive in a classroom. You don't stay there 30 years and don't learn how kids work. That wasn't the biggest problem. It was, and I can say this, and I had great administrators, and then I had lousy administrators. A lousy administrator can make your life a living hell in a school. And I'm gonna leave that right there. It was never the kids. The kids, that was a challenge. Kids will challenge you. They made me be better. That's the way, that's growth. It was them doggone adults, honey, and all that workload that ran me up out of there. Countdown to freedom. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. We talking about how can we get free? I used to buy mindless. Yep. The book, I'll tell you all the books that we have read so far. Your Money or Your Life. We Should All Be Millionaires. Now About That Budget. Mm, Tiffany Alichi's book, Get Good with Money. And I know I'm leaving something out. But we read those books together as a community. And then we discuss and try to implement. And when I tell you, money mindset, you can have all the money in the world. If your money trauma is still following you, you ain't gonna do it but mess it up. How I know? You can make all the money in the world if you don't know what to do with it. So for those women who are of a particular age, like myself, I sold my house. I have no shame. When I sold that house, y'all, don't people wrote me a check. I never saw a check that big in my life. This is my story. I don't know what kind of money y'all used to handling. I never saw that much money at once. I was scared to death. Scared to death. Yep. I had no clue where to go first with that money. I had to learn how to handle money because I knew I was not going to be one of those people. The desire for myself, I wasn't going to be one of those people. You know how they say somebody hit the lotto and then 6 months later they flat broke? I was like, no, that won't be me. I had to learn how to manage money, how to grow money. And I just want us all to get on the freedom train. Learning how to manage money, honey, is a nice little ticket to freedom. Once you know how to make your money, and let me look at this. Let's see. Let me get back over here and see what Nike doing real quick, just because. Look at this, y'all. Would you please look at Nike? Can y'all see this? Let me close this up. Would you look at this? Okay, so this is what I'm talking about when I say it can follow. It's just going to ride this up. Look at this. It's an all new high. Nike almost up to $74. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. So if you were in class with us in our study group, we bought 3 contracts as a trade, not even the stock. We bought 3 contracts. I sold all 3. What I would normally do, like in for real life, I would have sold 2 and kept one as a runner. And that's the one that would have picked up all of that. And then you set a stop loss so that you don't, because even if it turned overnight and let's say it didn't turn to the upside, it went to the downside, you would set a stop loss so that you don't give back all the profit that you made with the 2 contracts. So we cashed out $175. That would have been the kind of money that trade could have made. Sell two, leave a runner. Traders know what I'm talking about. I was quite late to top expensive, excessive brand name clothings and bags, and I'm so glad. So I knew I didn't need them. Yep, yep. It's a trap. It's a trap, and I don't know about you all, but sometimes they call that a soft addiction. You know what a real addict, you know what addiction is. But soft addictions, women, we may eat, treating yourself to dinner, or, really indulging, or buying clothes and shoes and those things that make us feel good. It's a quick dopamine hit. It's a quick little pick me up. I'm working hard. I should be able to. No, you working hard. You should be able to retire early. Not I work. I would say this to myself. I work hard. I deserve this. You deserve it, but do you need it? Yeah, you deserve it. What you really deserve is peace. Baby, peace way better than a handbag. That's all I could tell you. I have no worries. I ain't got no struggles. I have life stuff that happens to me like everybody. Anybody could get that phone call in the middle of the night. I can't stop that. Money don't stop that. But what I'm not is preoccupied with a crazy boss. I don't have to worry about some parent rolling up in the school talking crazy to me. I don't have to worry about no school shooter. I'm out here walking today. Me and my sister travel friend, we just walking around, looking around. What we gonna eat? What we gonna do tomorrow? Where you wanna go? That kind of, I would trade that in if I had only known then. If you take anything away, take this one. I hope this one hits somebody in the heart the way it hit me. Just think about it. All that used to be money. Now take all of that money and put that money someplace where it is now making money for you. And money don't make you happy. I'm not saying that. But y'all, money can solve a whole bunch of problems. And not only can it solve problems, you can bless other people. I am now in a position that I can save for my grandchildren's future. That wasn't even on my radar when I was out there hustling, honey. I'm telling you, when I told them kids, don't y'all break a doorknob up in here. That's how tight our budget is. I got enough to cover everything in here. You better not break that washing machine. Ooh, when you talk about some side eye, you about to get it. That's tens. That's 2 tens. That's 2 tens. I owe my kids an apology. I didn't know, but now I do. And I want all my sisters to know we can definitely buy our own freedom. We can definitely, we do not have to be working till we 65, 75. The US don't care. They need you to do that because the longer you do that, they know it's a good chance you're gonna get sick. They know now so you sick. Now you're gonna have to stay at this job because now you need the insurance. Oh shoot, we got you hooked. Oh, you're gonna need these antidepressants. Oh, we got you. That's a trap. It's all a trap. Get out of there. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Come on outside and play in the sunshine. Play in the sunshine with the rest of us. Because we out here. Y'all want to know who having a moment? I mean this. I've been out here. I've been away. Heck, it's almost 5 years because I never taught a day over 55. I'm 60 now. So it's 5 years since I was in the classroom. And in that 5 years away and for traveling, I have seen a lot of stuff. I have seen a lot of people come and go. I've seen some people come out if this is your desire. I've seen some people do it right. I've seen some people do it raggedy. And you don't want that. I have seen folks, it's bad. You don't want that. You want to be able to come and live your life's dream stress free. You want to be able, to call the shots. You done paid your dues. You done worked. You might as well enjoy the back half of it because ain't nobody promised, ain't nobody got no golden ticket to tomorrow. Anything can happen. I know two people, and this is the truth. I know two people who retired and died within the year, never got a chance to enjoy the money that they worked so hard for. Now, see, and I don't know if, because I don't know, I don't know their financial situation. I don't know if when you pass, does your pension naturally just go on, or is that money just like, okay, she gone? We don't pay anybody. Is there a payout? I might need to find that out. Marilla says, what you can live with and what you can live without. I'm telling y'all, Mary love being here spitting straight game. Even the smallest act to me, I pay up. Yep, yep, yep. That's it. How can we be of service to one another? How can we lift each other up? What did I learn that I can pass on to you? It costs me nothing to share that. Now it costs me something, y'all, if y'all need my one-on-one attention. And you pay people for their time, but we don't have to pay each other to exchange information. You ask, I am very, I think, transparent. I am not a financial advisor. I'm a Black woman who jacked up a whole bunch of money and figured out, oh, you can't sustain like that. You're not gonna be able to live if you out here buying 25 bottles of fingernail polish. I chuckle now, y'all. I chuckle at the things I did. I think so too. I don't. It doesn't. It doesn't get to go on. It don't get to roll on. She gone if you don't have a spouse. Oh Lord, that's the end of that. See, all that money those people worked for, and they never got a chance to enjoy it. There were certain things that made an impression on me. I knew I didn't want that to be me. I knew I didn't want that. And I'm talking about good people. One was a police officer and one was a fellow educator. Them people never got a chance to enjoy that money. And I'm talking about they worked. Like I cut out early. I cut out before, because I think to get your full pension as a teacher, you've got to be, at least in CPS, it's got to be 32 plus years. I left at like 28, 29, 30. Yeah, I was like, y'all can keep the change. Keep the change. Send me my pennies to my mailbox. Trust me, I'm going to figure out how to make this money work. And that's exactly what I did. The pension stops when you've gone home. My mom had a pension, it stopped. Wow. All that money. I was always saddened by my retired colleague that died soon after and had to return. Yep. Yep. Because yep. I saw that too. You know it. You've been in the field. I saw people who retired, girl, and then had to go right back to work to supplement the pension because they hadn't been financially responsible. Don't know. We know better now, y'all. That's why I said the internet is the great equalizer. I can't teach you everything, but I'm telling you, between ChatGPT, YouTube University, and a well-placed class, you got it. No one gets my pension. If I have already started collecting my pension, I can designate a child or spouse to get it. Okay. Wow. That's amazing. Yeah. I don't even know. Do they still do pensions, y'all? I know that, I feel very fortunate to have that. I do. I think, y'all know my day starts with a gratitude practice. We talk about it all the time, how gratitude really is the gateway to abundance. When you are grateful for, I promise you, when I wake up in the morning, I roll through this. It's like clockwork. I'm grateful, first of all, that I opened my eyes. I didn't get a phone call in the night. And that means everybody is safe enough that we're not grieving today. I have the use of my eyes, my limbs. I got running water. It sounds like little things. I got food to eat. I got a roof over my head. The sun is shining. I could think of 25 things. When I start my day like that, I don't pick up my phone. When I start my day like that, it sets the tone for the day. It's like, well, wait a minute, I'm okay. I ain't lacking nothing. I got everything I need. Not only do I have everything I need, I've got more than what I've got more. Because now you got enough money. You got all of this stuff. Starting your day with a gratitude practice, it sets you up, it sets the vibration for the day. I then wake up, I talk to my plants. I'll come out and greet the girls. I wish I could show y'all my plants because all the girls over here, they cutting up. In Malaysia, we get 12 hours of sunlight. 12 full hours. Sun come up at 7, it go down at 7. Every day like clockwork. So the girls are over here, baby, sprouting. Everything over here is growing. My hair growing, everything growing. We get good sun. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. It just it makes it hard to complain. Anybody got time for that? We need to vibe higher. It says I was always. Oh yeah, we did that one. Okay, yeah, the pension. Not most companies. It's mainly self-funded 401k with minimum matching. Yep. Yep. And I know everybody knows this. I don't have to tell anybody this. I'm preaching to the choir. If you are able to have some agency over your 401k, who's going to watch your money better than you? Who's going to invest your money better than you? Nobody. Not one soul. So if you don't know what to do with your money, you need to learn what to do with your money. Who can help you with that? This girl. And Marilyn listed 25 other people who can help you understand how to maximize it so you can get off the plantation faster. And not just get off, but then have enough so that you can't outlive that money. That's the goal, is to have enough money so that you can't outlive it. If you can't outlive it, that means you got enough for everything you need and you can bless somebody else. That's the ultimate. You can bless somebody else. It's not about, somebody posed this question to me and, don't hurt my feelings. She was like, well, when is enough enough? All y'all talk about is money. When is enough enough? One, I think that's a personal question. But for me, enough is when I don't have to worry anymore. I don't have to worry. Money is not something I worry about. That's enough. That's my definition of enough. Enough for me is when I have everything that I need. I can take care of everything I need, and I've got enough that I can help somebody else. It don't have to have a number. She said, was 1 million enough? Is 5 million enough? It doesn't have to be a number for me. If I think that's a very Native American principle. And I've heard this somewhere that if you have enough in 1 grain of rice more than enough, you are living abundantly. That's abundant living because you don't have anything to worry about and you got enough to share. That's abundance. That's my definition of abundance. You don't have anything to worry about. Look at Marilyn. When I tell y'all, oh, y'all, we got to get out of here. It's time to go. We've been here 2 hours. I enjoyed this. I think this might be a sweet spot because it's in the middle of the day for y'all. And I don't have nothing to do in the morning. I ain't got nothing to do. In the morning, I get up, have a cup of coffee, cup of tea, go sit up by this pool, watch the sunrise. It's quiet here. It might be another little senior citizen up there sitting dangling their feet in the pool. We out here just living our best senior citizens life. That's what I was trying to tell y'all. Y'all know who having a moment? Seniors, retirees. We out here having a straight up moment, y'all, because we're not worried. We done figured it out. We ain't buying stuff we don't need. We out here just sipping tea. We sipping tea and talking to each other. We ain't doing nothing special. You want to go on a trip? You want to go to Thailand? Yeah, that's life. That's living. That's abundant. Yeah. Marilyn says each person's life is to suit themselves. That's my sister. Thank you. Y'all, I got to get ready to go. Yes, we need to meet up. Y'all better come on. Y'all need to come. If you are here and this is your first time, welcome. If you haven't liked, subscribed, and shared the channel, don't cost nothing. y'all like the channel. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Any of them buttons down there, they all work. It sends a message to YouTube that you are interacting with content, and it pushes the video out to other Black women. And that's what I want to tell y'all this too. Somebody reach out to a young person, encourage a young person to become financially literate. For most of us, we figured it out. We at the stage where we figured it out. Catch somebody in their 20s, catch somebody in their 30s, and encourage them to become financially literate so that they don't have to work as hard as we worked. All right, y'all, I'm going to bed. I will talk to y'all soon. Go over there to YouTube channel and take the poll and let me know, are you investing or are you paying down debt? And I'll see y'all again in another live soon. Bye, folks. Thank you, Meryl Love. I appreciate you. Talk to you soon. Bye, y'all. Bye, everybody.